after the benefits of statin, we now move to the other side of the coin, and that is statin intolerance and how to proceed to manage it. Statin, all of you know, are the cornerstone of therapy for LDL reduction, reducing LDL by 18 to 60% in various clinical trials. And several guidelines have recommended intensive statin therapy in very high risk or high risk patients. Despite of that, adequate use of statin is limited by adverse symptoms in many patients, which leads to statin discontinuation in some patients and what is called statin intolerance. Statin intolerance is defined as the occurrence of myalgia or the other adverse symptoms that are attributed to statin therapy, and that leads to discontinuation of a statin. Statin intolerance is not a myth. Statin intolerance is a real phenomenon which might affect up to 15% of the patients treated with statins. First step in approaching patients with adverse symptoms during the course of statin therapy is identification of those patients for whom true statin intolerance is unlikely. Adverse events for which there are good supportive evidences are there are myopathy, increase in the liver function enzymes, and the new onset diabetes, while adverse events for which there are little or no supportive evidence there, like cancer, intracellular hemorrhage, cognitive decline, lung disease, erectile dysfunction, psychiatric illness, and cataract, and so on. Regarding the prevalence of SAMs, statin-associated muscle symptoms, the clinical practice it is 10 to 15%, while in randomized controlled trials it is less than 5%. The major symptoms are myalgia, 1.5 to 3%, myopathy with increased CK, 5 per 1 lakh population, and rhabdomyolysis, 1.6 1 per 1 lakh population. And the risk of adverse events or the statin intolerance observed more with atorvastatin and simvastatin compared to pravastatin and pravastatin, and this is from the Primor study. Mechanism of SAMs, through various mechanisms, there is ultimately leads to increased sarcoplasmic calcium, induction of apoptosis, reduction in the protein synthesis, skeletal muscle dysfunction, and membranolysis. The predisposing factors for the statin intolerance are the endogenous factors which are intrinsic to the patients, like older age, female sex, Asian ethnicity, pre-existing neuromuscular disease, severe renal and hepatic dysfunction, hypothyroidism, and diabetes, while modifiable exogenous factors are high statin dose, alcohol abuse, and illicit drug, and of course drug-drug interaction. Liver injury is very rare. Asymptomatic elevation of enzymes, it is 0.1 to 3%. Clinical significant acute liver injury is very rare, while fulminant hepatic failure is extremely rare. And it is all dose dependent, usually reversed by the lowering the statin dose, and usually do not recur with the re-challenge of the statin. Comparing the statin associated with diabetes or new onset diabetes, practically all the trials clearly showed some dysglycemia with the statin therapy, but the absolute risk of developing diabetes is 0.3 to 0.5%. And it is seen in high risk groups like obesity, impaired fasting glucose, or those with elevated triglycerides and low HDL. Incident diabetes, it is more common with the high intensity rather than moderate or low intensity group. But there are benefits here. The one additional case of diabetes per 255 patients treated for 4 years, statin treatment prevented around 5.4 vascular events in these 255 patients, and thus benefit of statin treatment exceeds the risk of developing diabetes. And this is how you get the new onset diabetes with the statin. Clinical evaluation of statin myopathy, according to the NLA, National Lipid Association, they come out with the same clinical index for evaluation, and it is based on the scoring system of the muscle symptoms, that is regional distribution pattern, temporal pattern, D-challenge or the re-challenge, and they score more than 9 to 11, it is most probable for SAMs, possible when it is 7 to 8, and unlikely SAMs when it is less than 7. And SAMs more likely when the symptoms are bilateral, large muscle groups are involved, onset 4 to 6 weeks after statin initiation, and onset after statin doses increases, and with discontinuation of symptoms after discontinuation of statin therapy. How to identify statin intolerance? Both statin-induced elevation of CK levels more than 10 times the upper limit of normal, more than 3 times upper limit of normal, have been reported as good predictors of the serious statin adverse events. Coming to the prevention of statin intolerance by pre-treatment assessment, proper counseling and proper monitoring is very, very important. therapy for the statin intolerance are the dietary and the health behavior measures in the form of reduction in the dietary fat or dietary cholesterol, replacing saturated fat with the mono or polyunsaturated fats, and increased physical activity and weight loss. Other strategies are statin-based strategies, non-statin alternatives, and treatment targeting muscle symptom relief. Coming to the statin-based therapy, most important is the statin re-challenge. You stop the statin and then gradually start with the low dose and gradually build up the dose. And the study clearly showed that 72% of the patients they tolerate this particular regime very well, with the reduction in LDL by 28%. Switching therapy is another strategy. Switching from one statin to another statin, that is lipophilic statin to hydrophilic statin, or cytochrome 450-3A4 metabolized statin to non-C3A4 metabolized statin. And the studies clearly showed that the rosuvastatin and pitavastatin are better because they are both are hydrophilic and both are not metabolized through cytochrome 3A4, while atorvastatin is more lipophilic and more metabolized through cytochrome 3A4. Therefore, statin intolerance is more common with atorvastatin and less with rosuvastatin and pitavastatin. So switching from atorvastatin to rosuvastatin or switching from atorvastatin to pitavastatin would be a better choice. And in this particular study, you can clearly see the switching from atorvastatin to pitavastatin, 87% of the patient they tolerated very well, and 79% of the patient they achieved the NCP-ATP goal with this switching therapy. Another strategy is the alternate day dosing, particularly for those statins who have long half-life, that is a metabolite of atorvastatin 20 to 30 hours and rosuvastatin 19 hours. And the study clearly showed that 72% of the patient they tolerated it very well, with the reduction in LDL by 34%. Another strategy is the once a week statin, particularly with those statin having long half-life. And here in the study, they've done with the rosuvastatin 2.5 milligram to 20 milligram once a week, and 74% of the patient they tolerated it very well. Statin can be combined with the other non-statin drugs like ezetimibe. This low potency or the more safe statin when it is combined with ezetimibe. 97% of the patient they tolerated very well with reduction in LDL. Non-statin alternatives are the ezetimibe, lowering the LDL by 15 to 20%. Bile acid sequestrant, it lowers the LDL by 15%. And ezetimibe, when combined with bile acid sequestrant, reduces LDL by 40 to 45%. And this is the ESC guideline 2016, which clearly endorsed that in case of statin intolerance, ezetimibe alone or bile acid sequestrant alone or combination of both would be the better choice, and it is class 2A level C recommendation. Coming to the newer non-statin LDL lowering drugs, mucomarsan is an ApoB synthesis inhibitor, and in statin intolerant patient, the study showed reduction in LDL by 47%, and patients who tolerated this therapy very well. Lomitapide is a microsomal triglyceride transfer protein inhibitor, which reduces LDL by 70 to 80% and triglyceride by 30 to 40%. But there are side effects like increase in the fat percentage by 1 to 6% with increase in the enzyme levels. PCSK9 inhibitor are the important breakthrough in the statin intolerant patients. And here is the GOS2 study with the evolocumab when it is given bi-weekly. Patients are tolerated very well with reduction in LDL substantially by 56%. GOS3 trial also showed the similar results. Quite a good number of patients they tolerated very well with reduction in this LDL by 52.8%. And this is the study ODYSSey alternative with another PCSK9 inhibitor, that is alirocumab, compared with ezetimibe and atorvastatin, and it clearly showed a reduction in the LDL from baseline to week quite substantially. And the GOS2 trial, 96% of the patients they tolerated very well. In ODYSSey alternative trial, alirocumab are tolerated by 95% of the patients. Another important drug is the bempedoic acid, is a liver targeted but muscle sparing drug, promotes the LDL receptor upregulation, and this has also been tried in the statin intolerant patient with a substantial reduction in LDL by 23.6%. Bempedoic acid may provide an oral therapeutic option complementary to ezetimibe in statin intolerant patients who require additional LDL lowering. And this is another new drug, that is inclisiran. It is a small interfering double-stranded RNA which inhibits the production of PCSK9 in hepatocytes. And this also has been tried in statin intolerant. So among statin intolerant patients or individuals in Orion 10 and the Orion 11 trial, inclisiran potentially and probably and durably lowered the LDL. Inclisiran may represent a new and a potent therapeutic option for the patients with elevated LDL unable to tolerate statin. Coming to the role of complementary therapies, and nutraceuticals in the monotherapy or combination therapy should be considered in statin intolerant patients. And this is the ESC 2016, which clearly endorsed that the nutraceuticals containing purified red-yeast rice may be considered in people with elevated plasma cholesterol concentration who do not qualify for the treatment with the statin in view of their global cardiovascular risks. Coenzyme Q, there are limited data available and the trials do not show any beneficial effect in statin intolerant patients. Similarly, there are conflicting results with the vitamin D supplementation.
Sir, 1 minute left.
These patients, and this is the algorithm which clearly showed that when the CK is not elevated and statin intolerance is there, you discontinue statin and restart with the challenge. When it is raised but less than 10 times upper limit of normal, then again you go for the restart the statin lower dose or use with the less statin which has less SAMs. And when it is more than 10, then you have to go for the non-statin options. And this is a beautiful flow chart by the ESC that to exclude other causes of muscle symptoms and interference, then take time for the patient and inform the patient about long-term risk reduction safety. Watch for the 3 to 4 weeks breakdown. If there is no resolution, then look for other causes. If there is resolution, then restart the statin, use different statin, check LDL, and if it is not up to the target, then add ezetimibe or ezetimibe with bempedoic acid or PCSK9 inhibitor. So coming to the end, identify how to approach a patient with statin intolerance. First, you identify the true statin intolerance, identify and treat risk factors, initiate or intensify lifestyle changes, reduce the statin dose, re-challenge the statin, reduce the dose and combine with ezetimibe, alternate day dosing or weekly statin, switch to the another statin and use non-statin drugs like ezetimibe, bile acid suppression, lopetamide, PCSK9 inhibitor, bempedoic acid, and the new drug inclisiran. Thank you very much.